Hello YouTube. Today I wanted to go over one of the worst games I've played in a while. Um, and it's a 10-minute game. I wasn't really thinking. I have a lot on my plate today. I got a lot to do, but I'm making this video. I'm going to make it short and sweet, hopefully within 10 minutes. I just wanted to give my percentile. I'm on 10 minutes. The 99.9 percentile. That means that 0.1% of people are better than me. Makes me feel a little prideful. But I will be quickly humbled if you want to add me and play me on chess.com. I'm Ninja Bear. Uh, I am and then Ninja Bear. I probably could have put I am Ninja Bear. I didn't think of that, but I was like, I'm from the South, so anyway. So this is one of the worst games I've played in a long time, and you probably have just gotten us spoiled. We're gonna go through it really quickly. E4, C5, knight C3, knight to C6, knight F3, bishop B5. It is a Rossolimo type game. The Sicilian Defense, Nyezhmetdinov-Rossolimo attack. So this is basically a positional game that did not turn into a positional opening that did not turn into a positional game. Turn into kind of tactical. And we'll see that black, of course, just holds an advantage the way I played this. But we'll go over the game, of course. So knight F6, probably slightly inaccurate. Castles, slightly inaccurate. E5, key thing in this position, E5, bishop takes C5 or C6, E5. These are the ideas that you want to play in the Rossolimo. And I didn't want to play them. I just refused to. I was like, I want to come up with something different. So bishop to D7 there is the perfect example of bishop takes C6, E5. Just locks down the center, makes it really difficult for black to. I mean, if pawn takes if the C pawn takes the bishop, then it's going to become an interesting game with the B file open. But if the E pawn takes, then which is standard, that's what's going to happen. Is just a lockdown of the center. So B3, interesting move, of course. You can see the evaluation. I could have continued with my positional advantage, but I did not. I wanted to be in cut of my bishop, and I regretted it. I did win the game, of course, but we'll see what happens, and I'll tell you what goes on in the game. Castles, bishop B2, and then I finally move E5 after E5 after D5, and this is where things get a little tricky. So we have knight back, bishop takes knight, and C takes knight. So here's the interesting position here. Everything's pretty much equal. White has that small, slight little edge. And I would say the reason why they have a small little, or we, or I, or whatever, have a small little edge, is because the space and black is not having a lot of scope for his bishops. Eventually, of course, black can play bishop a6, but he's not going to have a lot of potential. He does have a strong center. That's another thing. It's just that the center is just going to get crumpled eventually. So I blunder with d4. This is just a positional blunder because black's. I want to combat it. I was like, Black has all these pawns in the center. I gotta attack it, attack. And it literally is the wrong idea here. The right idea was to bring the rook to e1, positionally try to maintain the pawn on e5, push with maybe potentially a3, b4 kind of thing to weaken the pawn structure. I don't know. I got myself into this mess, so I ended up, of course, blundering with d5, d4. Rightfully so, he takes. I take with the knight, dubious. Should have taken with the queen. Knight takes pawn. f4, and that is all she wrote right there, because literally this just gives away the game. So with accurate play at a grandmaster level, even in a 10-minute game, I think Black could have totally dominated me with the two bishops, because I totally missed after f4. I missed this move right here. Not that move right there, but I think it was
I didn't understand.
knight to knight to d7. I just totally missed it, and it pretty much just allows Black to maintain his central control. So we'll go into the game.
Sorry, you have to be subscribed to cloud service to use navigation feature. To learn more about what...
Sorry about that. I'm in my car. c5, pawn takes knight. After knight to... Yeah, pawn takes knight. Pawn takes knight. And then queen takes pawn. This was a mistake. I should have played knight to d2, and we would have had a pretty decent little game still continuing. This allowed a gain of the tempo on the rook. If you want to see it, you can go ahead and unpause the video after pausing the video for finding it. Congratulations. Bishop to a3 or a6. I'm sorry, a6. Bishop a6, which allows white to rook lift, which I was like fine with. Okay, fine. I'll rook lift. Bishop to rook to f3. Then we have rook to c8. However, just as good of a move, if not better, would have been queen to a5, with the same idea of threatening to pin the queen to the king. And from here, the best move would have been to simply just get out of the pin with king to h1. I was a little stubborn and didn't want to do that, so I moved my queen over to g4, blundering potentially an exchange. So here is the idea is that I totally missed d4, which appears to threaten the knight, which it does. I could have moved to save the exchange, if you want to see, because the threat is bishop to e2. Now, after the knight moves, I could have moved what piece and where. If you found the move, that's great. That would have been rook to e3. But this was an excellent move as well. Knight to e4. So if I would have put let's see, move here, best would have been by test. However, I didn't play. So we have bishop to e2, and I go all in, basically. Rook a to f1, very dubious move. It pays in the end, but it just doesn't work. All right. Bishop takes rook. Rook takes bishop. Rook takes c2. Now, this is where it gets tricky because I can play the very strong move, and if you want to find it, you can find it. But it's just got to work. It's one of those moves that's just got to work. And it doesn't quite work for forced checkmate, but it is knight to f6 check. So after knight to f6 check, the bishop could have taken, but there would have been some problems. And it would have led to 2 rooks and some pawns against a queen and a rook and some pawns. So, like I said, this probably wouldn't have been the best route to go with bishop takes knight. But we have king to h8, which was best. And find the move that gives white the absolute best chances for drawing / winning. All right, I'll play the move that I played, which was wrong. Bishop takes 4, d4. This was completely wrong because this loses it basically loses everything. It trades down. And retry, the best move is knight to h7. Knight to h7 allows puts the threat of the puts the threat on the rook and allows some shenanigans with queen to h5. So this, once again, of course, would have been the best move. We won't go through the whole entire line, but basically black is still winning here in this position. It also allows, actually, probably the best move would have been rook to g3 afterward, unless the king takes the pawn, which will lead to mate. So, let's see here. The best move after pawn takes, let's see here. Yeah, okay, so pawn takes knight was not the best move, but it was an excellent move. I go with the flawed tactic, pawn takes pawn. But it was the best move. Like, this whole entire tactical series was the best move. What is the way that black can win the game here? White is down a rook. If you found the move, if you haven't paused it already, the move is queen takes bishop. It's a very simple move. Queen takes bishop, queen takes queen, bishop to c5, and the game is over. Instead, my opponent plays bishop takes pawn. It just goes to show you, like I said, at a 2100 level, you can make mistakes. And you need when you're playing openings, you need to study what the ideas of the opening are and what they're for. Because, oh yeah, of course, very tricky donation. Very early tricky donation. But you need to figure out what the opening ideas are and then rely upon your tactics. So once you rely upon your tactics too early in the game, if you rely upon your tactics too early into the game, you're going to end up being into equal positions, especially if you're trying to force things. So I would just say, overall, in the lesson that I've learned from this game is that I need to stick with openings that I want to play and use the positions and the positional ideas that have been set in stone for years, that have been studied for years, and then analyze them with an engine if I want to come up with new ideas. Rather than just trying to come up with ideas over the board that just don't make sense. Because this was just some flawed tactical mumbo jumbo. So, thanks so much for viewing. I hope you had a wonderful day. I'm going to post this up because I haven't played this opening before. And I appreciate my viewers. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed if you're new to the channel. And this was once again the Sicilian Nyezhmetdinov-Rossolimo attack. Have a good one.